Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome back to Economics Maxing. It's been a while. I have been MIA. Mostly my school assignments have been kind of picking up, so I haven't had much time to really think about the Zang fund at all. But today I have some time in between classes. I've just been doing some random Google searches online, learning a bit about how the US Central Bank, the Federal Reserve System, works. And I'm also curious how it works for an economy like China. So one of the reasons why is because for some reason in my class we're learning about the Chinese shadow banking industry. How there's kind of been this uptick in, I guess, financing activity in China with the shadow banks. So these shadow banks are just unregulated financial institutions that provide some type of financing for different institutions. And I'm curious to see how Chinese Central Bank and also the ECB, the European Central Bank, I'm curious how that's. Man, I forgot how to say this. Zhen something. Okay. About PBC. Let's see. Okay, that's pretty cool. What is a socialist market economic system? Some commentators describe the system as a form of state capitalism, while others describe it as... Okay. It seems like Deng Xiaoping is probably one of the...
Among the other spectrum,
This guy seems like he opened the doors for China and really increased the economic development. So it seems like China has so-called authoritarian capitalism, where it seems like what this article is saying, that there's both public and non-private institutions, businesses, but at the end of the day, the economy itself, rules and regulations are mostly set by the government, and the government can kind of dictate maybe the performance of its businesses and other businesses. What is economic planning? Okay. As a resource allocation mechanism based on a computational procedure for solving a constrained maximization problem with an iterative process for obtaining its solutions. So as an allocation mechanism for socialism, economic planning replaces factor markets with a procedure for direct allocations of resources within an interconnected group of socially owned organizations. So they have a constraint maximization problem. I guess maybe the constraint is some type of resource constraint. So planning is an iterative process. So that just means trying a bunch of times, trying to guess the solution or estimate the solution. Places factor markets. What is a factor? Yeah, what is a factor market? Alright, this is actually pretty helpful. Associated, capitalist, okay, laissez-faire, mercantilist, neoliberal, neo-mercantilism, protectionist, social market, democratic, fascist, feminist, Georgist, green, religious, Christian, socialist markets, social credit. Okay, so what is the U.S. economy? It's a free market economy, right? It's a capitalist economy where, I guess, free market is a market that doesn't have any rules or regulations. Maybe there's no government authority. Capitalist seems like it means just private ownership of businesses, resources. Yeah, let's see. Free markets economy. Okay. So, is the US a mixed economy? Okay. Oh, this is helpful. So, of course, people who control large amounts of money and capital make the most important economic decisions. Okay, so it seems like the true pure idea of capitalism really has this idea where a large amount of resources are controlled by a very small proportion of wealthy individuals. Alright, maybe I could take a look at this. Go with screen capture. So I'm definitely gonna have to check on this screen a little bit every few minutes because it seems like it does freeze at sometimes. Alright. Let me open up the Zhang Fund. Let's see what we're working with. Economic reports, economic framework. So what types of economies are there? Right, you have your free markets, capitalism, theories, capitalism, socialism, what do you call it? Socialism, communism maybe? Communism, mercantilism, and Federalism, I feel like, is more of a political ideology. I'm just going to leave it at this. So capitalism, let's say a small portion of wealthy individuals. So these are going to be business owners. Control resources. Socialism, resources are distributed evenly by a governing body. So I think that's the idea. And then the US is combines aspects of capitalism and socialism. There's also the idea of how different political parties kind of influence economic policy and also possibly the actual economy itself. And that's probably a discussion for another time, but I think that'll be interesting to think about how political ideologies affect the performance of businesses, the performance of economies, and whether or not they can be beneficial or detrimental. So, right here, okay. So Federal Reserves, there's also, within the Federal Reserve, I think there's 12 Federal Reserve banks, and then you also have 7 Board of Governors. You also have the Open Markets Committee, European Central Bank. I actually don't know how this is structured. You have the Central Bank of China, I think is also going to be pretty important. So there's also the idea of economic indicators. So, how money flows around the world involves your accounts and should be another one's deficit, portfolio investment, international investment position, cross-border financing categories. Also economic indicators. Right, so you have the idea of GDP, gross domestic product, inflation, interest rates, it's probably big, unemployment rates, and within unemployment rate you have vacancy rates, so non-farm payrolls, employment vacancy rates. So there's unemployment rates, vacancy rates, what else? Non-farm payroll, so job openings, size. These foreign reserve Southwest exchange rate. Okay, so vacancy rates. Oh, how many countries do we say that there is? 193 member states. Okay. It's probably the housing market is also a big one. Debt levels. And then consumer health. I feel like these are all probably going to be important things. And markets health. So how to think about the health This is only $8. Yeah, I actually might take a look at this book. It's only $8, so that's actually not too bad. So I might buy this actually right now. Okay, with that being said, I do have class soon, so I'm gonna end the stream here, and I'll see you guys in hopefully another stream today. If not, then I'll see you guys tomorrow.